Thou shalt put no other textbooks before thee in math class. I love math.
A dot plot is useful for organizing a small number of data points. Histogram is effective in displaying large amounts of data. Plots, composites are effective for visualizing comparing two data sets. Considering this, complete each statement by dragging and dropping the correct answer. So kind of like a vocab test here. A blank is a graphical way to display quantitative data using vertical bars. Histogram. A histogram is a graphical way to display quantitative numbers. A blank displays the data distribution based on a 5-number summary. So the keyword is 5-number summary. This one's also called the box plot, right? So box and whisker plot. What do we got? A blank is a graph that shows how data are distributed using a number line. What do we got? I'd put a dot plot. Number 4, for a set of data, the blank consists of the min, Q1, median, the third quartile, and the maximum value. That one would be the 5-number summary. 5-number summary. That's an A, that's an R, that's a Y. The number of data values included in a given bin of a data set is called the number of data values. So you're counting. Count is a frequency. So frequency is your answer. And another hint why it's not, they wouldn't use, the answer couldn't be bin because you wouldn't use the word in its definition. I wouldn't say, what's the definition of basketball? It's a game of playing with a basketball. Like, it sounds kind of weird, right? So, and then the last one, bin. The bar width, right? So remember at the bottom of those histograms, that's what we're saying, the width represents the interval data, so that would be a bin is your answer. Alright, question number 5 has a bunch of stuff here. Harry scored a 50. Question number 6, determine any outliers for the data, select all that apply. For outliers, I just need the formula of 1.5 times the IQR, and I want to go below quartile 1, and I want to go above the quartile 3. So I'm going to put those in order. Already done for me. I'm going to have to number these. Let's number these. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. That's good. It's even. We like even numbers. There's 4. So IQR is Q3 minus Q1. Okay. So let's figure quartile 1. That's this pink. 4 numbers. Take the average. 6 plus 12 divided by 2. And your quartile 1 is going to be 9. And then let's go ahead and work with the numbers up here in green. These are 4 numbers. To find the median, I would have to find the average. 30.41 divided by 2, $20.50. Right? So quartile 3 is 20.5. that means my IQR, $20.50 minus $9 gives me 11.5. IQR equals 11.5. So I can use that for both my equations here. I guess it would have been easier if I just calculate it. So Q1 is 9 minus 1.5 times this number. Let's just do that since we're here. So 9 minus 1.5 times 11.5. 1.5 times 11.5. This would give me 17.25. And if you subtract those, it'll be a negative. And you'll get negative 8.25 is my lower fence. What does that mean? If you had any negative values to the left of this dotted line is at negative, on the number line, negative 8.25. This out here would be considered a outlier. All right, let's go ahead and try this one. Q3 down here, 20.5. No. 20.5 plus 1.5 times the IQR, 20.5, and I'm just using this number is essentially the same, right? $17.25. So if you subtract those, you will get an upper fence to be 20.5 minus 17.25, $3. That doesn't make sense. Because when I subtracted them, I don't know why I subtract, because I should have just added. And it didn't make sense because I got 3.25, and that would be a super low number. That means all the numbers would be outliers. So 20.5 plus $17.25 would give me a 37.75. Okay, what does this mean? That means any number that's above 37 and going in this direction would be an outlier, and that number would be 56. Now, be careful. These questions are asking determine if any of these, and then it says select all that apply. So it could have been multiple, but there's only one 56. All right, question number 7. For a school project, 2 students, Shona and Miguel, recorded the number of text messages each of them sent each day for a 60-day period. The box plot summarizes the recorded data. I just want to go over this really quickly. This is your minimum. This is Q1, so this represents between those two dots 25% of the data. This is your median. That means from here to minimum is 50% of your data, or so far each of those are 25%. Quartile 3, 75%, and 100%. Okay. Select from the drop-down menus to correctly complete the sentence. They give us the choices below here, which is the same thing as your drop-down menu. And so let's talk about the median of Miguel's data. So Miguel is the second one here. The median is inside the box, so that is 40. And what I like to do is I really like to write the numbers. So then this one says is blank to the median of Shona's data. So here is Shona's data. I'm going to use little dots. Is 35. So you tell me, what inequality can you write there? It is greater. 40 is bigger or greater than 35. Okay. And okay, here's the second part. And the range of Miguel. So Miguel has a range of a minimum and a maximum. So max minus the min for Miguel is going to be 55 minus 25, which is going to give us an answer of 30. And then Shona's range is 25 for her minimum, and up here is her maximum, which is 60. So 60 minus 25 is going to give us 35. So what inequality would you write there? Miguel's data is smaller than or less than. Okay, then it says, select from the drop-down menu, correctly complete the sentence. Approximately blank of Miguel's data values are greater than the median of Shona's data. Okay, so I know that C represents percentages. So approximately blank of Miguel's data values are greater than the median of Shona's data. So let's figure out median of data. Median of Shona is right here. Okay, let's make this super obvious. Okay, so I'm drawing that line and I'm comparing. And the question says, approximately blank percentage of Miguel's data is greater. Pen turned off. So what percentage of data, of Miguel's data, is greater or bigger or to the right? So the question is, on Miguel's, what percentage of data is from here to the last part of his box plot? So, but remember, this is his Q1 to his max. And each of these, this is 25%. So this is 25, 25, and 25. So that would represent 75%. Approximately 75% of Miguel's data values, so if we go to Miguel, this represents 75% greater than the median of Shona's data. Okay. All right, part B, I think we are supposed to, which of the statements can be concluded from the box? Select all that apply. I think from here I need to answer the questions. For approximately 15 days, Miguel sent 50 or more text messages per day. So let's go to Miguel and look at 50 text messages. 50, Miguel, 50. It's getting kind of crazy. Let's erase all this stuff. What was the question? Approximately 15 days. Okay, so from here to there, that represents 25% of the days. And if you multiply 60, so 60 days times 25%, this is going to equal, that's 1/4, right? So 1/4 of 60 is going to equal 15. So I think we're marking true responses. So this would be correct, true. For at least 5 days, Shona sent 55 or more text messages per day. So for at least 5 days, Shona sent 55 or more text messages. Shona, 55. Shona, let's go to Shona. 55, and at least you're saying at least 5 days. Okay, so 25%. We said this is quartile 3, right? So it's 75%. So this represents 25% of the data. And I would say that's about half of 25%. Or half of the 25% would be around where she is, which would be half of 15, because we know this represents 15 days. So that would be 7.5 days or less. For at least 5 days, she sent 55 messages or more. I would say yes. There was at least one day in which Shona sent 40 messages. Let's go look. Shona. Yeah, because if you look here, this is her minimum. So, yes, there was at least one day in which Shona sent 40 messages. Yeah. Alright, the number of days in which Shona sent more text messages than Miguel is greater than 30. The number of days Shona sent. Okay, so what they're doing here is they're trying to figure out is this going to represent this is more days, right? How many days does that represent there? And let's double check. No, that's false, because remember we said that each of these represents 15 days. Does that make sense? 16, 15. And then Miguel's is 15, 15, 15, and 15. So, yeah, that possibly can't be more than 15, so no. And then the last one, what color do we now have? Let's see, it's red. Shona and Miguel each sent 25 messages on the same day. Okay, here's the hard part. Although you're looking at this, and you're saying, of course, they both have a minimum of 25. But you're not sure on which day it is. All you know is that one day they sent 25. So that would be false. So the three that I would pick as my answer would be A, B, and C as my true. 5 on an English test for which the mean was 50. Okay, I'm going to underline this one. Mean. And the standard deviation was 6. Here's some good news. You guys have not put those together. We have only done z-score, z equals x minus x bar over the standard deviation. Oh, you can do that. Duh. I just said the formula. And standard deviation is 6. So z-score equals x minus x bar over the standard deviation. Alright, let's do this for math. And I'm going to do the same thing for English. Z equals x minus x bar over s. So let's go over that. Z equals, he scored a 64, so there's my x value. The average is right here, 50, and standard deviation was 6. That means he will have a z-score. Remember, to compare apples and apples, we have to use standardized score. So 64 minus 50 divided by 6 gives me 2.33. And then we do the same thing for the English. The score oh, wrong. I did the wrong scores. Oh yeah. Okay, let's just do English. English is mostly this side. So let's try that again. Harry scored 55. So 55 minus 50 divided by 6. Okay, this gives me a z-score 0.833. Remember, what does that mean? If you have the center, mean, and median are here, a positive z-score is actually going in this direction. So he's actually above the average. That was English. Math, he scored a 64 minus the mean, 59, over the standard deviation of 9. So that'll get me 64 minus 59 is 5. 5 divided by 9 is 0.555. Which one is greater? English. Boo. Part B. What mark would Harry have to score in mathematics for his performance to be equivalent for the English? So let's highlight this. Let's go over question number 6. I'm using Desmos. You're going to type a capital X equals brackets, and then you're going to put in your numbers there separated by commas, no spaces. You know you've done it correctly because you have 16 numbers. And then you type in the word box plot, parentheses, capital X, and then if you click on this magnifying glass, it's going to give you the box plot itself. Minimum, quartile 1, quartile 2, which is the median, quartile 3, and the maximum. Well, these are just estimates. So if you type in there the word median, at parentheses, capital X, it'll give you the answer 77.5. You can also find that by clicking on the keyboard, functions, and going down and clicking under statistics, and then you can click the word median. Okay, the next one, it tells you to find the interquartile range, which is Q3 minus Q1. So to find that, you type in the word quartile, parentheses, capital X, comma, 3, comma. This is finding you in the list of numbers, the quartile, and then you want the third quartile, it's 87.5. Copy and paste this. You can just copy it and paste it into the next one, and you get the list one here, and you get 69.5. So I asked Desmos to do Q3 minus Q1, which is interquartile range. Your answer is 18. And then standard deviation of the population, which means you have all of the numbers. In this case, you're not dividing by n minus 1, just n, and you get an answer of 14.3. 14.3 is your correct answer. There could be multiple statements here. Let's do the first one. Noah's scores have greater variability. Remember, variability is your spread. So practically, I call it the jam. But one of the easiest ways of measuring variability is range. There's also standard deviation, and there's also variance. So let's just look at this with my visual of spread. Looking at Noah's, you put the jam right here in the middle, and it goes this way. So you can do a range, right? 7 minus 3 is 4 for Noah's range, n's range. And then if you did Jada has jam or spread all over the place, right? From 7 to 1. So Jada's range is 6. So does Noah have a bigger spread? No, that would be false. So no. The standard deviation of Noah's score is equal to the standard deviation of Jada's. Okay, so you can do this by putting in your calculator. I'm going to quickly put this into my calculator. All right, so if you run through the calculator, they both have a standard deviation of 1.222. So are they equal? And that is true. Now, how do you do that? How do you do that visually? Okay, so if you look at Noah's, here is my center. You have, doesn't matter how many dots you have, but what matters is how many dots you have on the right side, and it look basically symmetrical. You have 2 and then 1. Then over here you have 2 and 1. Jada's is actually the same because you have 3 dots exactly, and then 2 and then 1, 2 and then 1. Now you might say, well, they're shifted, right? Jada's center is around 3 and Noah's is around 5, but remember, standard deviation or variability only measures the spread in which it goes away from the center. Does that make sense? All right. Let's erase all this stuff and try the next question. The the mean of Noah's score is greater than the mean of Jada's score. So let's pop that back into my calculator. And press clear. I already have the numbers in there, so I'm going to go stat, calc, 1var stats. I already have list 2 in there, which is Jada's. So Jada has an average of 3. And stat, calc, var, nope, don't want that one. Stat, calc, 1var stats, and then here I want L1. Calculate. And is it Nathan? Noah. Noah has one of 5. So 5 compared to 3, is it greater? Yes, that is true. All right, let's try another one. Noah scored better than Jada on every assignment. Okay, so every is an absolute word. So for example, just pick a score like 3. But does that on Jada's score of a 5? Is 3 greater than 5? That would be false. So I'm even using math and the visuals, right? 5 is higher than 3, but better means that Noah's score should be bigger than 5. It's not, so that's false. And the last one. Using only Noah's scores, the mean is equal to the median. The mean is equal to the median. Again, you can do this visually. So let me show you the visual way. The visual is, well, what does it look like? This is normal or symmetric. Or another word they use, they call it is a bell curve. It looks like a bell, like Taco Bell, the bell, a church bell. So when that happens, the mean and the median are exactly the same. On a normal or symmetrical or bell curved graph or distribution, they're exactly the same. So that is true. How do you do that by numbers? You just write out all the numbers, and then you'll see if you run the averages. 3, 4, 4, 5, 5, 5, 6, 6, 7. And there are 9 numbers there. And so if you have 9 numbers, 5 is the median. But if you also did the average, it's also 5. So hopefully those quiz corrections were helpful.
Yeah, 1 and 1 is 2, and 2 is 4. 3 and 3 is 6, so now let's try some more. 4 and 4 is 8, and 5 and 5 is 10. 6 and